Right now. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Unity here with Community Conversations. We have some special guests. Hello, I'm one of the hosts. My name is Gloria Maya. Um, Co-host, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Jasmine Smith, a part of the Community Conversations here as another co-host here. Looking forward to tonight's conversation. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So we have some youth in the building this evening. We're having someone else going to join pretty soon. Zephora and her sons. We have Miss. You want to introduce yourself? What's your name?
I'm Miss Heaven.
This is Miss Heaven. She recently graduated high school, but this is a topic that was meant for her community, her peers. She's straight out of high school, but she's still connected with youth. She works with youth. So tonight's conversation, Ms. Jasmine, is a hot topic recently. It's about that incident that occurred at that local junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
And did you watch the video?
Yeah, I watched it. I had to click off. You know how I get. I had to click off. But I have my reservations and questions about it. So I'm ready to get into it whenever y'all ready.
Is he able to get in through you yet?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know.
No. Anyhow, we're gonna keep trying to get her connected somehow, some way.
Okay.
But
Okay.
So the question at hand is, do you, Heaven, feel that the bully policy that was meant for you guys in the school works?
I don't really feel like it works. I think sometimes it can be really rigged.
Mm-hmm. So did you have any experience like in school where it didn't work for you?
I think that sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yes, it really did.
It didn't work. Do you have any questions, Jasmine, to Heaven? Because, I guess there was an incident that occurred at your school where you were getting bullied, and you got fed up.
Yeah.
And how did you react?
It was a whole situation. It got into a fight, and then
was this a girl or
it was a boy, and then it was also a girl.
So you got bullied by a girl and a boy. And tell us a little bit about the situation.
So there was this boy, and the boy like kept kicking my seat, and then the boy kept kicking my seat, but his friend, a girl, she was like also like, she was also into it. They're close, they're for each other, whatever. And so he kept kicking my seat, calling me names, and then after I don't know what happened, I kind of forgot, but after class, it was lunchtime, and then we went outside and we kind of started fighting.
So at what point did you talk to a teacher? Did you tell an adult who knew about this situation?
No one knew about it.
So you didn't tell a teacher?
No, I didn't tell a teacher.
So does this occur like every day, or is just that one day?
I kind of forgot, but I remember. I think it kind of occurred like not like every day, but like I think it happened one day, and then like probably like 1 or 2 days later, like we got into a fight, and then that's the last time I seen them.
So you want to talk a little bit about that the video you seen, Jasmine?
Say that one more time.
Can you speak about on behalf of that video from your perspective?
Yeah, I watched it. I was a bit confused. Okay, I'm like, I see the girl attacking the boy. You know what I'm saying? Or he like, I don't know, like she, running up, like, I don't know. So I'm like, Did he do something to you? And he just trying to stop, because it wasn't like he was palming her, you know what I'm saying? But he was aggressive with her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what was like to me, what was the nature going on? And the part that throws me off, which we did too when we were kids, but when we were younger, I hate that people just, I like the fact of recording because you get to see the proof. But then it's just like everybody just sitting recording. So it's like, it bothers me, especially because he's a taller guy, bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? On how it looked, you know. But I would like to know what led to the situation so I can have a better judgment off of that, I guess. I won't say judgment, but yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, it was important that, you know, we brought Heaven here and we're trying to get Z and the son in here as well. I hear you. It's not letting me get on. Let me see if I can get her to call in so at least we could hear her, okay?
Okay. Because I don't want to exit out of here that it kick me all the way out or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, as far as that though, like, you know, which is unfortunate. I hate to see that, you know, and then of course it's like, you know, gender plays a role, the race plays a role.
And
So it was like, what, like my thing was, what was going on? Do anybody know what happened? Is there any more to the story? Do you guys know? Because me, I have to cut that stuff off because it'll piss me off. Like, you know what I'm saying? So me, I have to cut it off after a while.
I mean, it got me emotional to the point of, can you hear us, Z? Yeah. Okay. It got me emotional to the point as one for a mother, as a mother of a son and a daughter that is biracial.
Mhm.
Two, as a community advocate and changer, I was just like, where was the accountability of the adult?
Yeah, I'm like, that was the first thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, where the hell is the teacher? The person in there? Where were they at? Did they say where they was at?
They said the substitute teacher was in the class with them.
See, that's I told you, see, it pissed me off. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, see, that's the thing. I remember back in the day, at least hop in front, like, hey guys, cut it out. Tell one of the other students, please go get the principal and the security to get in here. A couple of them can go out and go get that. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And stuff and everything, you know? Or like, you know, whoever friend the guy was, like, hey, try to break it up, like something like, I don't know. But I know for sure he being looked. I know he been getting ready to get walked down. I can tell you that.
Z, can you hear us?
Mm.
Zafara. Hello. Where'd she go? Z.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me.
I can hear you now. Can you hear her, Jasmine?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Z.
I wish y'all could see me because it would have been better. Because you know, like I'm so animated. You know, like oh my god.
Right.
We don't have to work for now. We don't have to work for now.
So,
Right.
Did you show your children the video?
No, I wasn't able to show them the video, but I watched the video myself. Because when I went to go look for it, it wasn't where where it was. They had took it down, but no, I had seen it in its full force, and it was just heartbreaking. It was like it angered me. I'm like, what is going on? Is this real? You know, or is this edited? Like, I just could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
Jasmine,
it's ridiculous. Makes no sense.
I mean, Kevin, how did you feel when you first seen the video?
I felt.
Did it anger you? Did it bring back feelings of what you went through?
I felt like it was very wrong. Like it kind of did anger me. Like I felt like it was like really wrong. Where like I thought it was messed up, and then I like read more into it, and then I heard like the substitute teacher didn't even do anything, and I was like, what? And
so you transitioning from your high school years, and now you're getting into adult years, and you're working with youth. What would you have done if you were in that class now as a young adult?
I would have I would have stalked them. Like I would have just like when like people fight, like it's loud, like it's real loud, like you already know right then and there that they're gonna fight.
Where's that thing?
So I would have like went like I would split them up, put them across the room, and then if they were still trying to fight or got bad, like even worse, I would have called the security.
Okay. How about if you were their age in that class, what would you have done?
If I was like one of the students who was watching, I would have felt bad for the girl, and I'm kind of shy, so like I to be honest, I really wouldn't like do anything, but I would like help, I would help her.
Okay. I mean, that's the biggest topic is peer accountability and adult accountability, right? Us leaders as advocates in our communities, as far as Z and young Heaven here and Jasmine, we're proactive. We're on the front line. So we already know that where we stand when it comes to acts of violence, victimization. But Z, would you agree that it would be hard for your son? I don't know if your sons are close by, but how would they have reacted to that incident in that moment?
As the victim or
as a witness?
As the witness. Come here. Let me ask Makai. Come here. I gotta just try.
Because tonight is really about their voice. In these situations, right now, even in the media, you have people coming out protesting, and it's all adults, but no one's listening to the kids, right? So this night tonight is strictly, by the CEO. He really wanted to hear their voices and how they would react and how do they feel and what can they do to possibly change policies that can keep them safe. Okay.
See me, Gordon?
Huh?
Can you see me? Because I can see you guys. I'm in the studio.
Oh, you're in the studio? I can't see you.
I can see
Jazz.
Okay.
I can see Jazz.
I can see
Oh,
Jazz.
there you are. Hey, let me turn off my
Come here.
phone.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I should turn around and show y'all what he's doing. Can you
I
hear me?
can see you. You're in the studio?
Turn the light on.
I can see Jazz. I can see Jazz.
Everyone's on here.
Come here. Come here.
Come on, Makai, don't be shy. Get your face in here. Hi.
Hi.
So, Makai, if you were in a classroom and you witnessed a boy and a girl having a physical altercation in the class, what would you do?
Call the security.
So what if this was
Give me the remote.
the scenario with this case was in a situation was a young black girl and a young Mexican boy. We don't know the whole detail of how it went down, but if you see the video, he's holding her back, telling her to chill out. He's calling her some inappropriate word in the midst of that. And if this was a boy,
Hold it. Listen.
in your class,
Right back.
Put it right down.
would you videotape it or would you intervene?
I
I know
intervene.
you call security.
I
You would what?
intervene.
But what would you
How
do?
would-
Intervene. What would you do?
I like pull him to the side, talk to him.
No, he's in range. You gotta see the video. You give you a better depiction of what you saw.
What video?
I'm gonna look it up.
So there's a video. Jasmine, describe the video.
Okay, so basically, it was the girl and the guy. He wasn't like palming her, like hitting her, but he was like trying to restrain her, but she kept trying to hit him. And there were words being exchanged in the process, and everybody was just watching, just watching. But I remind you, he way taller than her, you know what I'm saying, and bigger than her. And then the substitute teacher is present, watching.
So, Makai, would
Literally
it
not doing
depend
nothing, not
on
doing nothing.
race
They're
if you
not stopping, they're
intervene?
not breaking it up.
So
They're just watching.
So he mad. So like, just try to like, basically just try to like, if he. So you're saying like the girl's trying to hit the dude?
Yes.
Then I'll probably like try to get the girl back. Ask one of my friends to like hold her back, and then like at least attempt to try to talk to the guy.
Okay. I mean, these are real answers that kids are not being asked, right? In this situation, all the adults are in the midst of what's going on, but at the same time, there has to be peer accountability. Do you agree that your peers should be accountable to helping each other? Because you guys are a community in that class, right?
Yes.
So do you think that you guys as a whole, as a unit, should help each other out?
Yes.
Good. How about you, Heaven?
Look. I'll show you.
Oh, you showing them the video?
New at 5, police investigating a disturbing incident at a middle school in.
Oh, it turned off.
This is why you shouldn't touch.
Because I can't
Well,
see.
I'm gonna speak real quick on that because I feel like this. If we rewind it a little bit, we all was that age too.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I know different times are right now, especially like with social, with phones and being able to record. So that's what I said. I think that that's the dope part because now you have like more reliable proof. But I think that we all have faced those situations and circumstances. I for sure the number one people who hold the most accountability is the adults. They are the representation in the classroom as far as holding the students accountable and being responsible for their behavior, authoritative figure in the classroom. That's number one. As far as peers, I feel like some people, they probably don't know how to intervene or something like that as far as the peers or some could intervene, but some just like the entertainment of the stupidity, and that's unfortunate, but we went through that too. But this day and age is a little more like, the baddies type, or you know what I'm saying? Like in that era, just want to see some BS go on, unfortunately, in this low vibrational energy they got going on. So it's very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But the most accountability I hold is to the staff, because she could easily told the student to go get the principal, go get security, go get the principal and stuff. It's someone which and I'll say probably a friend or something like that, like how Makai had said, like, it's easy to get the girl back. She a female. All you gotta do is just grab her, handle him. You know what I'm saying? But everybody to me just looked like it was a show. You know what I'm saying? We've been there. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we was younger, everybody would see a show. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the main person is the adults.
Absolutely. I was telling Z earlier back
Come here, Michael.
when I was in junior high, this ain't nothing new. The only thing new is social media. The violence, this ain't new. This is old stuff. This goes back to way back in the day. Where I came from, where the neighborhood I grew up in, if you automatically look different, you were a target. Unfortunately, but that's the culture in which we were raised in, right? We would listen to adult conversation, not the understanding of how being different was okay. Being a different race was okay, but being a child and listening to adults, we were taught that if you were a different race, you didn't belong in our community. But this is something that needs to be changed within the system of the educational code, is inclusion, right? Including everybody as a community. So, Makai, did you see the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think now?
basically, like, what I'm seeing from like my perspective is like the male is like a little more aggressive, so I would get the dude, like I would get the dude off of her, and then like if I have a friend inside of the class, I would tell him or her to get the girl and like break them apart basically, and like basically take them different places. Like I'll take whoever I grab and like try to dissolve the situation.
Good. How about your other son, Z?
He watching it right now. He watching it.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Would it matter on the race?
Would it
I
matter?
think all of that is an inclusion, especially with the stuff he was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, let's call it for what it is now. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, say for instance, this could have went way worse. If a black boy would have stepped in, it would have been a fight, because you already getting at a young black girl, you calling out her name, and he already gonna be like on 10 because he see a black boy coming up, and see that's another thing that can cause a whole situation. You know what I'm saying? That could cause a whole nother thing. So that's where it comes back to, if the darn adult would have called the security and her stuff trying to break it up. She's an adult, so they're gonna be more kind of, well, this 2025, so hold on, we got to take it back because you know them kids be taking off on teachers. So hold on, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm just saying, just a little bit, but they have more. You know what I'm saying? I think of more of a respect, like, hey, come on, you know what I'm saying, and then they're including like students, like, you know, and I guess that they can see. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we was like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just where it come back to. It's just like one of these situations. It's unfortunate, you know.
So my daughter works for the school district. She's a mentor. And she was told, and I told her, like, what's your guys' policy? She said, we can't touch students. Even if there is a fight, they're not allowed to touch the student. Like to back, but there is de-escalation trainings. But I didn't see no de-escalation training being used in that moment whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying. It should have never went on that long and that too many times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where was it? Like, hey, I need you guys. We're gonna call the police. Like anything, any type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Anything. None of y'all saying nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have cared about the policy if they sit up here putting their hands on each other. This became a physical altercation, which became a domestic violence altercation in the process of it. Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So Z, what's your perspective of your other son?
He doesn't want to comment on it, like, you know, because he's seen it for the first time. So, Michael.
No, I mean, I don't have any comment for it.
Oh, you don't have any comment for it? Is it baffling? Does it behoove you? Like, you don't want no parts in it?
Like, I'm a rational person,
Michael.
so I try to rationalize a lot of, well, everything that's going on. And this video that I just saw, I kind of can, but can't rationalize most of it. Like, can't make a full-on sentence or something going on. He was in the wrong. She was, like, doing some that caused him to do the wrong. So, like, it's going from both sides. So, I can't have no comment on it, though, if that would make sense.
It does. It makes it say it's like you're on the fence, meaning like it should have never got to that point of violence, period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids they have issues that, you know, the lack of communication skills is not there anymore. You know, how to communicate. And I get it. That's how I felt. Like, I'm on the fence as far as, you know, I'm more enraged that it got to the point of violence.
Okay, go ahead. I also have my sister here, and she watched the video.
Okay.
So I want to get her opinion.
Yes.
Hero.
Hi. What you think, sister?
What I think? It's I say both sides. Even though the girl, cause you know the girl is more like got that attitude more than boys and stuff. But some boys can't control it, you know? So with the boy, I feel like that he did do like too much, like watch out. But he did extra. I'm like, could somebody come get her? Like, but it's on her too. Like, you shouldn't be doing all extra. They should have did something. They both needed some type of help, like both like parenting or some counseling, like what to do. Because I see why he did that, but he did extra. You did extra. I know you like you trying to get a female off of you. You know what I'm saying? But you did extra. And put it back. You know what I'm saying? And I can see if she restrained her, that's still gonna be a problem too, because you restraining her from hitting you because ain't nobody doing nothing. Everybody is watching and got their phones out. Nobody doing nothing. That's what we in right now. That nobody do nothing. Everybody bust out their phone.
That's right.
Everybody said that's not my business. It's not my business. I'm not getting involved. They just go record.
I think in real life situations, like we're trying to teach these kids, these young adults, you know, Heaven and Makai and even little Makai, we're trying to teach them life skills, right? And in adulthood, if you're a witness to a crime and you videotape it, you can be charged with an accessory just by being there. You know, and I think this is something that they should switch around with the school district and award, you know, peer heroes, if they want to call it peer heroes, where they intervene and de-escalate situations that can lead to lethality. I mean, look at Diego from Riverside, Moreno Valley?
Moreno Valley?
Yeah, he got hit once or twice, and he's not here no more.
Yep, he died.
So I think, you know, they should definitely look at the accountability of the peer community, which is the kids, and how the adults need to uphold that to a higher level of responsibility, you know. Even if they awarded kids who intervene, like, you know what, you're a hero in your own community, we're going to give you an award for whatever it might be, you know,
right?
Violence intervention or something like that, and or have more mentors such as ourselves in those places that we can mentor young women and young men and knowing their role and you know, yes, women have attitudes, but it should never lead to the force of another person to be violent, right?
Right.
So, what do you think, Jazz?
Okay, so it's like, of course, I feel like this. I'm trying to figure out how to say this because I look at it at like my son, y'all kids, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Other people kids as well. Intervene to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're getting hurt. If you can have a point to go get some help, or if you know that there's a window that you can like kind of help, all right, come on, calm down. So, but you're not going to get yourself hurt in the process. No, do so. If you feel like it's something that's way outside your hand, call the police. That's still an act of doing something. You know what I'm saying? Go call for help. That was the thing for me. So it's just like, you know, just like us. Like, you know, especially me and you, Gloria. I'm not sure about you, Z, but we did the domestic violence thing. So you already know if in those circumstances, right? Depending on how it's going down, I don't want to get knocked out too. Ain't nobody going to be able to get no help, right?
Yeah.
So there is a degree that I'm going to tell my son and y'all kids too, because they're my kids.
Yeah.
To where we gonna sit up here. Okay, so if it's a little window, if you feel like it's not too much, intervene a little bit, see what you can do. But if you can't, go call for some help. Like I said, call the police, call the security, go get some other adult authorities since the other girl wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And try to rally up you and your boys or something like that to try to help. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want my kid to be hurt in the process of saving someone else. And I ain't trying to be rude or nothing like that, but I'm speaking straight facts. Because somebody hurt my son, I'm coming from everybody. And that's that.
And it is.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know.
And I get that point too, but if we train in adulthood, right? We know if we get ourselves into a heated situation where we see a male manhandling a female, right? We know that's a fight that we can't win, but at the same time, we learned how to use our voices. How to be like, hey, get your hand off of her.
Yeah.
You know, the police are coming, or hey, you know, we've
Yeah.
learned how to intervene without getting harmed. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying as far as peer
Yeah.
accountability. And
Yeah.
if I was in Heaven's class and I was her peer and I seen someone kicking her chair, I'd be like, hey, leave her chair alone.
Yeah.
You know, she's asked you twice to leave her alone. Leave her alone. You know, that's
I agree on that. That's a form of bullying, so for sure.
Yeah, because in school they're so adamant about shut up and not shut up, be quiet, do as you say. I mean, you really don't have a voice in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add, you know what too? I noticed, and I can't speak for nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I come from a different era. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they angry, and for whatever reason it is, I don't know, because you know what I'm saying? I have my life. Hold on, Makai, go over there. Go. I have my life circumstances as well. You know what I'm saying? But the way that it just is so low and just so angered and ugly and just, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they hot temper very quickly, like they sitting on ready for something to pop off, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, I hate that for them.
It's like,
You know what I'm saying?
it's like that saying, Z and her sister. I mean, pressure bust pipes. If you keep these kids quiet, shut up, sit down, raise your hand when you're getting spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in real life adulthood, how we're having that, you know, conversation here. I ain't telling you, Jasmine, oh, raise your hand before you talk. You know, Z, raise your hand. Okay, now it's Z's turn. We've learned just by probably adulthood, not even in school, when someone's talking, you be respectful. Then when they stop, then you talk. That's a life skill that's not being taught in school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you got all these kids sit down, shut up, follow the rule. But when I need to be heard, who's gonna hear me?
Shoot, I go in adulthood too, so shoot, it don't stop. Y'all know I'm gonna be on one. Like, but yeah, but that's true. But that's what I always say. That's one thing I teach my son, and I pour into him, like in those areas. The first teaching comes from home, and I understand some kids don't have that, and I hurt for that. You know what I'm saying? So all we can do, like as parents or as peers, like, and see, that's another thing. When you go to school, that's the next second place, safe place that you feel your kid is at. You know what I'm saying? And stuff, and they're the representation of things. But girl, they ain't no better than the students. But for some of them, not all, but some of them.
Z, what's your thought?
This generation is doomed, baby. Doomed. Because there's no leaders. Like, there's no leaders in this generation. Like, you know, those who, oh, I'm sorry. Haven't I forgot? Well, she's being molded by the right people and she's in the right circle, in the right community. But like, as far as like a collective, it just seems to be doomed. Like, it's just a lot going on with no direction, no structure. Like, and they're not willing to want to learn something different or the right way, or nobody wants to stand up. Again, as soon as something happens or go down, what they do, they grab their phone. We were just talking about that. If somebody drowning, what you do? Grab your phone. You don't go to help. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just mind blowing. It is a lot. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. Like, I say all that just to say we got a lot of work to do, and we powerful enough to do it. Like,
and you know what's sad is like we hear about how it takes a death of a minority to have a uprising or people in the streets, but that should never end. It shouldn't take for someone to die to make change, or someone to get injured, or in this situation for the young girl to be going against charges of felony charges of assault, and the young man a misdemeanor battery. That's just mind-boggling to me at 14.
That's ridiculous.
Now they have these additional labels, right? First they were just kids. Now it's like, oh, the little black girl and the
Mhm.
boy who assaulted her, and now it's felony. She's a felony. She's gonna be charged with a felon, and him a misdemeanor.
Dang,
And
that's heavy. That's heavy.
that's mind-boggling to me.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
So I got something to say right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, so I wanna ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
This could go to adult or young person. What is your expectation of safety in the school, on the school campus, where your child is concerned, and as for heaven, where you are concerned? What is your expectation of safety on the school campus?
What's your expectation of safety, Heaven? When you enter that school ground, what do you expect?
When I enter a school ground, my expectation of safety is like I want to go into school. Like sometimes, I may not. Okay. Okay. I want to go into school, and so I want to feel like I want to feel like I should be there, like for a reason. I've been seeing like all these reels, and these kids are like blowing up like the restrooms, breaking Chromebooks down and stuff like that, and like the toilets are getting flooded. Like that's just not right. I feel like I should go into school, and yeah, there's gonna be kids that's like doing stuff in the stalls and stuff, but I want to go restroom real quick without feeling seen or something. And I want to go into, there's going to be fights, yeah, but I feel like no student should bring like any weapon to school, just to like just anything. I want to go into school where i I feel like no one's gonna pull out a weapon or do anything like stupid where the police has to like come.
I get that. How about Makai? Where's he at?
Come here.
Let me get up.
Come here.
Let's see your lovely face, Makai. What's your idea of safety when you enter a school? Like, what is your expectation of safety?
So when you go to school, what do you expect as far as like you being safe? What do you expect to happen? Like, what do you expect to feel? What do you expect to see? What do you expect to do?
I expect to see a clean campus.
Mm-hmm.
I expect the bathrooms to be clean too. What else?
What about safety? As far as safety, what do you expect
I expect
when it comes to safety, your safety at school?
like say if something like somebody tries to do anything to me, I expect like my teachers, security to like take action like immediately.
Mm.
And yeah, that's what I'd expect.
Okay.
I think as an adult, as a mother, my expectation of dropping my kid off at that curb is for 8 hours, I expect my child to be safe, free from violence, free from drugs. I know what's going to be there, but my expectation is these adults are getting paid to supervise my child for the 8 hours they're in school.
Mm-hmm.
I know they can't have eyes everywhere, but there should be eyes everywhere. How about you, Jazz and Z? What's your expectation?
Basically that it needs to have enough staff and security to
Mm-hmm.
secure the premises of the amount of student ratio, period.
Mhm.
So that way, if something do happen, that they have a good response time and a good enough amount of staff to be there in any circumstance or situation that may or could occur. That's that's my expectation.
My expectations of safety, when it comes to safety and my child well-being, is that like he's just that he's safe. I don't have no worries. I don't have no, because there's been plenty of incidents at the school to where Makai had told me something happened, and then when I brought it up, then they had told me. I'm like, y'all didn't tell me that. And y'all didn't tell me that either. So like when I get on the school's top, that's when they addressed everything. I made it a problem. And then they just start being tedious with it. They'll tell me everything like, oh, he had a hall pass to the restroom and he took longer than the 5 minutes or the 3 minutes required. So they was just telling me everything. They try to be tedious. But baby, I got time today. Like, it didn't make no sense. But I expect just that. I expect my child to be absolutely safe in every shape, every kind of way. I expect that. I mean, to go above and beyond. I expect that. Like, like that's a given. I'm giving you my child for how many hours? Like, I'm giving you my vessel, like an extension of me. So, yeah, take good care of them while you have them.
That part. I remember my daughter's first, I think it was her first day, freshman year of high school. No, second day of school. She calls me and tells me, Mom, somebody brought a gun on campus. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, my friend was in there, and I guess it was an altercation between two boys. And the gun was taken out of the backpack, and she said the teacher, I said, what was the teacher? She's like, oh, the teacher stood at the door with the door open. The teacher was at the door and the kids were in the class. And I get a notification from the school, not even saying that. They said the boy had a gun outside of the school.
They just trying to downplay it. They don't want to be like, oh, it was a gun. Ugh.
So I really believe in this conversation. The youth. I mean, back when we were growing up, we had a security guard. We used to call him RoboCop.
Oh wow!
And yeah, and it was just him by himself. And as soon as he seen us, we were gonna have a little melee in the playground. He would be the first one running. He was a big dude too. He'd be the first one running, like break it up. Like he was on it because he had his head on. He had his head on swivel.
Okay.
And we would laugh like, "Oh, here comes RoboCop!" Because we knew.
I like that though. I like that.
Right? A lot of stuff wasn't going to go down because RoboCop was coming and he was going to break up the little melees that we had planned. So, I mean, that's what these kids need to understand, that there is an authoritative figure who they can trust with their safety and their voice.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Marcus, do you have another question?
I do actually. This one is for Zipporah. So being, I mean, and we gonna be totally real. You speak how you speak, right?
Okay.
Being a black mother, what's your feelings towards today's administrations at our kids' schools and how they first protect our kids, and secondly, what do you believe is something that's missing in administrative structure and systems in our schools where our kids are concerned? That's basically the question.
What is missing? People who care, people who really care about the students, people who really care about the education and where they go after that, like them being modest adults, molding them. People who really care about molding the children, like back in the day, like what the village was. That's what we missing. That's what's missing. The care, what is it? Empathy, sympathy? No, what is that word? It's the care, like the nurturing part. There's no nurturing part. They just come, do their job, get their bread, and go home. It's not about pouring into these children. They don't care who they become after literally the bell ring and they go home. Back then they cared who you became. They cared what you were doing. They cared. But now it's not about that. Like they can care less. But it's the what is missing? The empathy, the structure, the pouring into, the molding. That's what's missing.
Okay, and if and this is for, I'll say G for this question. If you can, if this video was to be sent to the administrators of the school district, what would you tell them specifically?
To own it, to own their lack of accountability of who they hire, and stand on their policies. Stand on the educational code throughout California and enforce that. If the California schools have a school code that strictly is for violence prevention programs, and they have a bully policy, how does that apply realistically to our children, and how are they gonna stick to that and enforce it? You know, kids tease each other all the time. Even adults do it too. But at the same time, own it. If we're teaching accountability of these kids to get your grades done, get your homework done, be on time, be a good student.
Yeah.
I have the expectations of administrators as well. Do your job. But not only that, but to administrators, don't just sit at a desk at a council meeting. Introduce yourself to the body of the students. Let the students know who you are, so that way they know that you're the higher power that they need to answer to or ask questions to when answers need to be answered. A lot of times kids don't know who to go to. So, and fortunately, how we advocate in the community, at a young age, my daughter was already, taught. You go to, in this county, it was Margaret Hill at the time. She's a pillar in our community. She was a beautiful, awesome leader. And Gwen Rogers. And I'll give you a scenario. My daughter was playing basketball for a local junior high here in San Bernardino, and the expectation of the school was they wanted parents, every single parent, to take their child who was on their basketball team to their game. And if they didn't make it to their game while I was at work, I couldn't take my daughter, they were going to have to forfeit their game.
What?
Yes. So they wanted every parent, if you worked, get out of work and take your child to their basketball game. And if they couldn't make it, they would forfeit the game. So my daughter was like, Mom, some of my peers, they can't make it either because their parents don't have reliable transportation. So we're going to have to forfeit. I said, no, you don't. There's people that you can go to. She's like, well, we already asked our principal and they said it's not in the budget. I said, there's someone they answer to. Yeah. The next level up. So she's like, oh, can I ask Margaret Hill and Gwen Rogers? I said, absolutely. So I have their phone number. She called them. It was nothing but a word. The next day, these two people listened to her, and they made sure those kids were transported to their game so they can play. So if we teach our kids, the buck doesn't stop with the principal, and it doesn't stop with the teacher, because they have bosses. Yeah. So I think, Heaven, in your situation, if you knew you can go to a principal, and if the principal didn't listen, you can go to someone higher than her, would you have spoke up?
It matters.
Would you have told them about the bullying?
It depends. It matters how big the situation is. It matters how bad the bullying got, and if I actually if I did know one of the higher ups number or something like that, I most likely would have did that if all of it was bad.
So I think that's what needs to be told by them. To answer your question, Marcus, administrators are definitely accountable, but they're also accountable to being in the face of these kids and letting them know who they are
Mm-hmm.
and how they lead their school and how they represent them in those seats.
Yeah.
They're elected to be in those seats.
I think that's actually perfect that you said that, because while I was in the meeting with clergy and the school administrator, the principal, to be more exact, police chief was in the room. That was something that was said. There was a program that was at that particular school for at least a year. They had never met that principal, not. So you have a program that's in your school. You are the administrator, and that school has no idea who the person that is the decision maker on campus is. That's a problem. You know, if the little girl who is involved in this incident has been going to that school for a year, and the organization that is brought in from the outside to help on the inside doesn't know who she is, and that is the culture and the the little black girl. If they don't know who that little black girl is, her name or whatnot, then who? My question to you is, who failed that child? Is it the organization, or is it the school, or both?
Like Z said, the village.
Mm-hmm.
The village failed her. And the village is us.
Yeah.
Us. Simply.
Because 2025 people are it's not like collectively, it's not a village no more. It's like me and mine. You know, it's just me and mine. The community we're in is us, me, mine, her, him, they, everybody, you know. But
where I grew up, if I walked down the street that I grew up on, everybody knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
They knew my mama.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got from one end to the other end, my mama knew where I was at.
Exactly.
So you had somebody grandmama, somebody uncle, somebody auntie sitting on the porch.
Exactly.
Today we don't have none of that.
No, or to tell you to get home.
Nobody. You don't even know your neighbor. Like you watch some of these news stories.
Oh
where,
yeah.
You know, people are asking, who was your neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. He was so quiet.
There you go.
He didn't bother me. That's basically what that meant. He
Yeah.
didn't bother me. He's so quiet. He just didn't bother me. I don't know what's going on with him, but he didn't bother me at all. So it has to get back to the point where, like I say, you see on the bottom of the screen, it say, together, we are the difference. Unity was a part of all of us. We had Hispanics in our community. We didn't have no whites where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
We had Asians, we had Hispanics, we had blacks. That nucleus right there, no matter where we are, we all in the same space. We protect one another.
Yeah.
Whether it's prison, whether it's on the streets, whether it's, fires, earthquakes, whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's us taking care of us. We don't see no politicians, they come take pictures and hand out a few things one day out the whole incident, then they gone. But at the end of the day, it's us.
Yeah.
And that's what we gotta continue to be as us. Unity Speaks. When you see Unity Speaks, the whole reason for that, 2 letters at the beginning of each word spell us. You're not just looking at it. It's not just something to be there. It's something to stay there. I'm trying to build something that we all can understand, that bringing somebody to the table is our job. It's not. And when you bringing somebody to the table,
give me the charger.
I mean the next generation. If the next generation ain't involved, then everything these adults is around here saying, it does not matter. We can have a billion podcasts, a billion news shows that show adults and their opinions, but at the end of the day, the people who gonna come after us is the ones that matter. So why are we talking to you? That's how I feel about it. So, you know, from my perspective, you know, when we do these podcasts, things like that, it's always accepted to bring somebody kid. You know, bring
Yeah.
somebody kid so we can, along with your voice, we can hear their voice. You know, and let's make that something that's normal, rather than something that's a trend. You know, let's make it a phenomenon to put these kids out here and allow their voice to be heard through us. Like,
I have
it's
a
our
question for
job.
Heaven.
If
Marcus.
nobody else don't, huh?
I have a question for Heaven.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know Marcus as your mentor. If he was your mentor when you were going through a situation, and you told your mentor, what do you think he would do? Have done?
Bruh. He's a great game person, so I think he would have like you said before, he would have came to the school. If I actually did tell someone, I don't really think like they would have did anything, to be honest. I think he would have came to the school and like, you know, make it a big deal.
Are y'all talking about me over here?
Yeah.
Whoa,
She said
what
you
I
would have
do?
made it a big. She said if she would have told you, you would have made it a big deal and went up to the school.
Told me what?
If she was getting bullied.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I mean, like right now, I don't even know this little kid from the other school, and I want to go up there and sit up there. Like I want to be that person who is actually standing in front of the school, making sure I don't care about nobody else. If folks want to join me, fine. But I want to be able to, if I can organize that, like let's get some brothers together, man. Let's go stand in front of that school. Let's have some brothers in front of other schools. Let's pick one particular day to start and have at least 3 brothers in front of each school for a whole entire day. If you got to do a shift in that school, let's find some people who can actually adopt the schools in their area. Let's figure out how to make sure that we're the ones protecting our kids, man. Like, let's not leave it up to the administrators. You know, let's organize something where we have somebody, you know, from our communities. We be the liaison, man. We don't have to worry about these elected officials and all that stuff when we all can take care of our own kids, man. When I was growing up, they had a such thing as called the PTA, right? I don't know if they still got that, but the PTA was the mothers that was, you know, that was actually trying to make sure something was happening in the school for us. Let's go back to that. It ain't got to just be mothers. You know, I'm down. I don't know. I mean, the people on this, you know, for those watching, the people on this screen can tell you, you know, that I am that person who is willing to do so. I've done it before. You know, I've walked in the office and you know, with a child and said, if I have to walk around this school, I will do it. You know, and no matter what you say, because I already had permission from their higher ups. You know, so you know, while they discontinue the safety of our own, it's our job to do it, man. These are our streets, these are our kids. You know, they go to their schools. These aren't our schools. These belong to somebody else. We're allowing them to teach our children. So while we're allowing them to teach our children, it's up to us to make sure those kids are protected while they're there in the hours that they're there. And that's all I got to say.
How about you, Jazzy?
Girl, y'all done said it all. I ain't got really much to say.
I mean, you know, I do want to address one more thing. You know, we all go through traumatic experiences, and from your traumatic experience, because you're beautifully scarred, this little girl and this young man is scarred. What words of wisdom can you give them to start the healing process?
I would say, in order to fix something, you have to get to the root of whatever is going on with you. And so when you look at that situation further, like we both, hold on, Makai, we both don't know really, hold on, what happened, right? So whatever their differences were, I think is deeper individually. that caused them to clash. So whatever it is with them individually, they need to get to their root of their pain, their hurt, whatever it is that they're going through, and in order to be able to heal, because you can't really truly heal till you get to the root of the issue.
Mm, I
Mommy,
agree.
mommy,
Mommy. And I agree with you as well. Like, you know, we are domestic violence advocates, and we're trained on how to intervene and how to help victims of crime. You know, Heaven here has been to Washington as a survivor of a crime. You know, her uncle was murdered here in San Bernardino. So we've taught her how to impact her community, her family, by utilizing her voice. So those of you who are watching now, I encourage you this year, use that. Use it for good. Can it be harmful? Absolutely. But our goal in this community conversation is to empower people to use their voice to make change. If that's at a local level, if that's at a personal level in your family, if that's at work, do it respectfully where change can be heard and it could be done. So with that being said, I want to thank Heaven for coming tonight. You know, this young lady has truly been amazing and she's a part of our family. You know, we met her at a high school getting ready for prom, and she's stuck with us now. But we got to see her growing into an amazing woman, and more is to come. You know, and being part of a community that does something and not just is a bystander is meaningful. So, Jazz, you want to sign us off with one of your quotes?
Yes. Let me think. Hold on, I wasn't even ready. My son had me distracted. Um. Okay, so hold on. I'm trying to think of something.
Look up one real quick. Or can you?
Okay, because it was something that I heard earlier and it stuck out to me, and I'm trying to inquire the words real quick. If y'all could just give me a second, because I'm scared to like get out of here and it click me off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, but it was something that this guy, I love him, his fine self, girl. His name is 19 Keys. I really love him. He's a very powerful, motivational, like speaker and influencer and things like that. Basically, he says something like this: I cannot minimize myself for who you are, to maximize who you are. I cannot minimize myself to maximize who you are. And I say that is to always stand in your truth and with you. Do not belittle yourself to maximize and make somebody else stand out. If you know that is who you are, act on who you are rightfully, not because of your peers, your homies, your homegirls, whatever. You act in the rightness for you. You always be yourself. You know, it's unfortunate what has happened, but I hope this can teach other people, other youth. I hope this spreads awareness and light, especially at a young age, to have those charges against you. You know what I'm saying? So I just pray for wellness in our community amongst everyone. And you know, my favorite proverb, you know, when you defeat the enemy within, the enemy outside cannot harm you.
Absolutely. And what that says to me when you always say that is, no one has control over my emotions and how I feel about me.
Yes.
No one can make me mad. I got myself mad.
Yeah.
That's my accountability. So no one can do to me what I don't allow them to do.
Exactly. It's like no one really truly has any power over you unless you allow it. At the end of the day, people gonna be people. It's up to me how I respond. Now, once you show me who you are, this is something I learned, and I'm 37 years old. But it's just like in reality, you're gonna be who you are. And I am who I am too. So at the end of the day, whatever I think about me is the only weight that I hold, not the weight of somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? But if you for me, you're going to be for me. So I understand we're going to be able to talk and converse. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not, I'm going to be able to distinguish and know how to walk away. So when they do say, when you're silent, the silent is the best thing. Because anybody can get loud, anybody can be rah-rah, but it's really hard to be positive and silent and to walk away and stand in your truth and your power. That's where the power lies, you know? And that's something I learned. Huh? I don't know. I didn't see her. It seems like I don't know.
Yeah, she left. She left earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, in that, y'all, that's the end of our community conversations. Look forward to more. Stay tuned to more conversations. We will be back on regular schedule come Wednesday. So, you know, this is what it is, y'all. If you want to be part of our organization and want to be a guest and just share your truth and stand on it, you know, that's what we're here for, is to stand on what we believe in and who we are. And that is community leaders and community changers. And Heaven, you want to say anything?
I'm good.
You good? She's good. We good, y'all. Marcus?
All right. Take care. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Y'all have a good day on purpose, man. I appreciate y'all. If y'all want to learn more about Unity, go to unity.org, uniteee.org, and find out more about our organization, Beautifully Scarred, and a bunch of others.
Yes, Beautifully Scarred.
All right, y'all. Y'all be cool. I'm going to end this live.